He thought I didn't understand him. He leaned toward the regional director and laughed in Japanese. 彼女は来月にはいないよ. She won't be here next month. They both smiled. I kept typing, because I understood every single word, and that was the moment I stopped being loyal. My name is Alina. I worked at Cairotech Global for 4 years. International Operations Department. I handled cross-border contracts. I managed supplier negotiations across Asia, and I was the only employee in our office who had lived in Tokyo for 3 years. But no one really paid attention to that. They just thought it looked nice on my resume. My boss Daniel especially. He liked taking credit. He liked being loud. He liked reminding everyone that he was global-minded. The truth? He barely spoke basic Japanese, but he loved pretending. The Tokyo expansion deal was huge. $60 million partnership. High pressure. Our company needed this. I built most of the contract framework, compliance terms, cultural negotiation notes, risk mitigation. But in meetings, Daniel presented it as his own work. I stayed quiet, because sometimes silence collects evidence. During the final review meeting, the Japanese regional directors joined us in person. Polite, formal, observant. Everything was going well, until Daniel made his mistake. While I was pulling up the financial slides, Daniel leaned toward Mr. Sato and whispered in Japanese. He thought I was distracted. He said, 彼女はこのプロジェクトの後でクビにするつもりだ. I plan to fire her after this project. Sato looked uncomfortable. Daniel laughed softly, then added, 彼女は便利だけど、忠実じゃない. She's useful, but not loyal. My hands froze on the keyboard, but my face didn't change, because Tokyo taught me something important. Emotion is weakness in negotiation. The meeting ended successfully. Everyone shook hands, smiles everywhere. But inside, I knew something had shifted. It wasn't about the firing. It was about disrespect, about calling me disloyal while stealing my work, about assuming I was ignorant. That night I reviewed my employment contract carefully. Then I reviewed the Tokyo Partnership Agreement. And I noticed something interesting. Very interesting. The Tokyo deal required bilingual oversight. Specifically, strategic liaison must be fluent in Japanese business communication. Daniel wasn't. Not even close. Fluent person in our department? Me. And I had documented proof of authorship for most negotiation drafts. Emails, file history, metadata. He forgot one thing. Smart employees archive everything. 2 weeks later, Daniel called me into his office. Budget cuts, he said casually. We may not need your role next quarter. I nodded. No emotion. He smiled slightly. Start preparing documentation handover. He thought I didn't know. He thought his joke was still secret. But here's the twist. Mr. Sato had contacted me privately. 3 days after that meeting, I received an email in Japanese from Mr. Sato. Subject, confidential clarification. He wrote, "We value your professionalism." We were surprised by Daniel's comment. So he understood the tension. He respected cultural etiquette, and he had noticed my silence. Then he added something powerful. Our board requires direct communication with the Fluent liaison going forward. Which meant they wanted me, not Daniel. I forwarded that email to HR. CC, Executive Director. Subject, clarification on Tokyo liaison requirement. No accusations, no drama, just facts. Within 24 hours, an emergency leadership meeting was scheduled. Daniel looked nervous for the first time. The Japanese partners had officially requested my presence for all final contract approvals. And if the request wasn't respected, the $60 million deal would pause. The executive director asked Daniel one simple question. Are you fluent in Japanese? Daniel hesitated. Conversational. Sato calmly replied in Japanese. では、この契約のリスク条項を説明してください. Then please explain the risk clause of this contract. Daniel froze. He couldn't. Because he never truly understood the contract. I did. Silence filled the room. Then Mr. Sato turned to me, in Japanese. あなたが交渉を担当しますか? Will you lead the negotiation? I answered confidently. はい、もちろんです. Of course. The room changed. Daniel's authority collapsed quietly. No shouting, no drama, just exposure. 3 weeks later, Daniel was transitioned to another department. Corporate language. The Tokyo deal closed successfully. I was promoted to international strategy lead. Salary increase. Direct reporting to executive board. But that's not the real twist. 6 months later, I received an offer. From Chirotech Japan. Regional director position. Higher authority. More respect. And guess who recommended me? Mr. Sato. In his recommendation letter he wrote, she understands language. But more importantly, she understands dignity. That meant more than any promotion. He joked about firing me in Japanese. He thought I didn't understand. But sometimes, the quiet person in the room understands everything. And waits.